Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Gabby and today we are going to be choosing our August TBR. I'm very excited. We're finally getting into that fall season and I really just can't wait to pick out a new set of books to focus on this month. The obvious elephant in the room, my voice is like gone. I went to Ariana Grande on Sunday and I lost my voice so badly. Today's Tuesday, so it's been 2 days. It's better than it was, but I really wanted to get this video recorded and edited and out there and truly just manifest a good month of reading for August. So I'm also going to Tame Impala tomorrow night, so I don't really know how that's going to work. Hopefully it's all cleared up by then. As always, we're going to be using my trusty iPad. Now, I don't know, I'm trying to play with the settings a little bit and figure out how to not be getting the same prompts over and over and over again, because I feel like every time I do this video it gets a lot of love, but I'm always getting the same prompts and I'm kind of bored of it, to be honest. Let's see if I can figure this out. See, like this says 52 out of 56. Quick deactivation mode. I don't know how I did that. How do I reset it now? Oh goodness me. Okay. Oh, okay. Guys, only took me like a year, but I'm figuring it out. Let's ignore, this is literally all finished books right here, this huge stack. It's crazy, I just have nothing to do with them. So they're just sitting there. Anyways, let's spin for our first prompt of August. A book with a map. Okay, you already know. This is almost always going to be a fantasy book. I feel like that's a given, and honestly good, because I'm really in the mood for a good fantasy. Now it's just, what do we choose? We have so many good options. This is so hard. I really don't know. There's so many books in the forefront of my mind right now that I really want to read and really want to pick up. Okay, I think I've made my pick. I think we're going to go with The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I am really excited for this book. This series is on part of my 26 for 2026, and I've never read anything by Carissa Broadbent. So I'm very intrigued. Let me give you a good look at the map here that we have. So obviously we have a good map going on. I'm very intrigued with this. This is about vampires as far as I know. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna read the back for you, but again, give me some grace because my voice is not at 100 right now. It says, the adopted human daughter of the Nightborn Vampire King, Aurea carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy among the most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Aurea most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the Nightborn crown continues, shattering everything that Aurea thought she knew about her home, and Rain may understand her more than anyone. But her blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. That eats, I think. That sounds so fun, and I'm excited for a good little vampire main male character. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, our first book for August, I'm very excited. Okay, let's go ahead and spin for our second prompt. I hope we get something good, maybe something a little summery to wrap up the summer good. You know what I mean? 26 for 2026. Okay, well, even though I just picked one off that list, that's fine. I'm okay with picking another because we're getting to the end of the year. We're past that halfway point. It's time to pick up another one. You know what I mean? Okay, I think what we're going to pick for this prompt is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I've not read an Abby Jimenez book yet, but her kind of backlist as a whole has been on my 26 for 2026 because I really wanted to explore her as an author. And I feel like this is a good opportunity to, because we're wrapping up the summer. I kind of called it in a way. And we're getting a good, I think, summery read out of this. So I think this will be a good choice. And I also think it's the first in her new series of interconnected standalones, because I don't know how I feel about interconnected standalones. So that's why I'm kind of hesitating towards her other books, because I don't really have any interest in the first book and the other group of her interconnected standalones. I'm kind of more just interested in the other two, but it's kind of I'm like, I don't know, it just feels wrong to not read it, but it's making me put it off and put it off and put it off. So I think starting with this one will give me a little taste of her writing, even though I haven't heard the most amazing reviews about this book. I'm not gonna lie to you. It says, there might be no such thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier Rush comes disastrously close. A gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a tiny kitten? Immediately, yes. That is until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an asshole wrong. Unless, of course, he can admit he made a mistake, but after one incredible and seemingly endless date, possibly the best in living history, Samantha is forced to admit the truth, that her family is in crisis and any kind of relationship would be impossible. Samantha begs Xavier to forget her, to remember their night together as a perfect moment, as crushing as that may be. Only no amount of distance or time is nearly enough to forget that something between them. To forget that something between them. Oh, that something between them. Okay. And the only thing better than one single perfect memory is to make a life and even a love worth remembering. I don't know if this is a summery vibe or not then, but the cover kind of gives like summery vibe. Should I switch it to her other book? What's that one called? This one. Just for the Summer. I do have this one. Maybe this one's a little more summery. I think maybe we'll say screw it and we'll switch it to this, because I'm pretty sure this one's very summery, and I think reading it now will guarantee that I actually read it, because as it gets closer to fall and more like fall outside, I'm going to be less and less likely to pick it up. And I know that about myself because this one is called Just for the Summer, so I know it's a summer read. So actually, scrap that. We're gonna switch. It says, when it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up. But it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two have come up with an ingenious plan. If they date each other, their curses will cancel out and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and hilarious. But when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching real feelings. Has fate finally brought the perfect pair together, or will their cure be way more hazardous than the curse itself? I have read a little bit of this. When it first came out, I was reading it and then I was in such a slump, I put it down and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think this is actually probably the better choice. And for August, it's the perfect summer vibe. Okay, let's spin for the 3rd book that we'll be reading in August. I'd love like continuing a series or something. Close. Author you've never read. Oh my goodness. I keep getting the books that are like from what I'm saying before. I keep saying, oh my gosh, I've never read this author, and then I get author you've never read, and then I'm saying, oh, this is from my 26 for 2026, and I'm getting the 26 for 2026. So it's just like, I don't know, maybe I need to manifest that and give me continuing a series next, please, and thank you. Anyways, author you've never read. That can be so iffy, but I think it's also a good time to explore something new. I think for this prompt, I'm going to pick Start at the End by Emma Gray. As far as I know, I haven't read, it says best-selling authors of Pictures of You, but as far as I know, I have not read that book. But I think this is a more emotional read, so I'm very, very excited. I don't know. Is it the vibe, though? I don't really know. I really, really want to pick a fantasy, but I know if I pick a fantasy, then my whole TBR is just going to be fantasies. And it's going to be like 6, because we're picking 6 books, like 800-page books, and I just can't do that to myself. So I think we'll just go with this for now, and hopefully it goes well. I think actually, so I picked up this book, I want to say in the beginning of the summer, maybe late May, and then I saw Sarah Crowley posted about it recently that she had bought it. I was like, oh my gosh, great minds think alike, because I've never heard anyone talk about this book before, so I'm very, very excited to see how I like it. Let's read the back. It says, Audrey and Fraser tumble into a romance for the ages. After an unlikely start, they fall deeply in love and dream of the life they'll build together, until one tragic moment upends everything. Facing the unimaginable, wrestling with guilt, they're left haunted by what-ifs, each asking where they would be if fate had spun a different story. Start at the End is the unforgettable drama of 2 soulmates who have to find a way to start over when they had only just begun. So I think this is more kind of tragic. It sounds like there's a big part of the plot where something big happens and they're kind of trying to build themselves back up. Interesting. Not something that I normally reach for all the time, even though I am kind of a lover of like a not regular romance. So I'm excited to see if I like this one or not. Let's spin for our 4th book of August and see what prompt we get. Ends in an even number of pages. I like these kinds of prompts because you can kind of do anything with it. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to find one, but that makes me happy. That's a good prompt. What ends in an even number? How many books am I gonna have to check? That's like the most annoying part. Oh, my first one. My first one ends in an even number. Okay, so this is a contender. I really do want to get another fantasy in here somewhere, but I don't know if we should wait. Okay, this ends in an even number. Okay, so my 2 top contenders are Daisy Hates and Dire Bound. Very, very different vibes. I loved Magnolia Parks. I know that Jessa Hastings as an author is now very, very controversial. I already own all the books. What are you gonna do? So, may as well read them. They're already on my shelves. I think I'm kind of leaning more towards this. I think I want to do Daisy Hates. It's just a vibe. It really is. The books are good. It's like watching Gossip Girl. And I know Gossip Girl is a book, but I've heard the book isn't that great. But this is like Gossip Girl in London and like slightly more violent as well. It's like a trashy reality TV show that you just really can't look away from. So I think we're gonna go with Daisy Hates. Now I will read you the back of this one because Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, they're both in the Magnolia Parks universe, and I think you kind of do have to read them in order, but Daisy's storyline is not super directly, in a roundabout way, it's involved with Magnolia's storyline. So I think we're safe to read the back for this one. It says, Daisy Hates is a princess of London's most notorious family, raised by her older brother Julian, a London gang lord, after their parents were murdered in front of them 12 years ago. Daisy has never lived beyond his watchful gaze. Julian's line of work means that Daisy's life is complicated, and things don't become any less complex when she falls for Christian Hems, the beautiful and emotionally unavailable boy she's been involved with for the past few months, who also happens to be one of the few men in London who doesn't answer to Julian. Christian's life is no walk in the park either, being in love with Magnolia Parks, his best friend's girlfriend and all. He's happy enough to use Daisy to disguise his true affections, that is until she starts to infiltrate those too. As Daisy and Christian's romance blossoms into something neither were anticipating, Daisy, Christian, and Julian each have to come to terms with the fact that in this life, everything comes at a price. As their relationships intersect and tangle, they all learn that sometimes life's most worthwhile pursuits can only be paid in blood. So again, more violent, because obviously they're kind of part of a gang, but they're all really like wealthy, and especially in Magnolia Parks, the drama is like very surface level and kind of prestigious in a way. It's kind of hard to explain, but personally I just eat it right up because it's literally like watching reality TV, but in book form, which I really enjoy. Let's spin for our 5th prompt. Matches the season. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now it's like, does matches the season, is that more summer or is that more fall? August is obviously part of summer, but to me it's like early fall. I'm like past the summer vibe and I just want it to be fall already. So what do we do here? I guess we go for summer would be the most logical choice, and that kind of works because we're getting a summary read in, but we already have a summary read. So I'm like, what the heck? I picked literally the most summer book I could think of. Okay, I literally going through my shelves, someone's probably yelling at me like, oh my gosh, what about this book? What about this book? Whatever. I picked, I think, literally the only book I own that has summer in the title. And to be honest, I don't want to add another Abby Jimenez because I don't even think this is really summery. I mean, I guess you could say romance, but a lot of my romances are kind of more fall themed, I think. They're not really giving summer. Okay, wait, I think I actually found one contender. This is The Ex-Vows by Jessica Joyce, and it does mention the blurb on the back has a quote from Ali Hazelwood that says, "The perfect summer read." Oh wait, that's on You with a View. That's not even this. Wait, what? So I don't even know if this is summery. I don't know. Now I feel conflicted. Honestly, sorry guys, I'm just rolling again because I can do whatever I want. I literally already picked the book with summer literally in the title, the only one that I own. So I'm like, how am I supposed to really know what time a book takes place, like a romance, you know what I mean? I could be like, oh, this seems like the perfect summer read, and then it's literally like taking place in winter. So I'm just not doing that. I'm so annoying. Okay, so we're gonna spin for a second time for our 5th prompt of this video. I apologize, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. If you don't own the right books, I'm not gonna go out and buy some. You know what I mean? So whatever, it is what it is. Most recently purchased. What was the... Oh, I actually do know the most recent book that I purchased. And that book was City of Glass, but this is actually the 3rd book and I haven't read the 2nd one yet. So I feel like we can kind of get away with adding the 2nd one to our TBR because the most recent one that I bought was further in the series because I knew I wanted to pick this up very, very soon. So I know that's kind of a workaround. Other than this book, my next one, my most recent purchase was City of Souls and Sinners. This is another one I'm very, very much anticipating getting to very, very soon because I love this series. I thought the first one was so good. It wasn't even like that good, I think, in the grand scheme of things, like if you're talking about from a literature perspective. But to me, it was just the vibe. It really was. Okay, I think, sorry. Again, I know this is roundabout, so we're like really not even following the prompts at this point, but we're gonna go with City of Ashes because my most recent purchase was book 3 and I'm yet to read book 2, but they never have book 3 in stock. For some reason, this trilogy of the Mortal Instruments, they never have it in stock in my Barnes & Noble, and we had gone and we were like, Jordan's like, I'll buy you a book, you know, it'll be so fun. We had gone to the farmer's market that day. So he was like, you can buy 1 book, I'll buy you 1 book. And I was going so back and forth over what to purchase. And I was like, you know what, I think buying the 3rd one, I'd love to just binge and finish up this trilogy and then get to the other series in the Shadowhunters books. So I think we're gonna go with this because that's kind of, I think, a good sign. This is one that I've really been wanting to add to my monthly TBR. I don't think I can read the back of this because I think it probably gives some spoilers, but if you've never heard of this series before, I used to think it was really cringe when I was little. Like, I don't know, something about the covers. So I never read it when I was younger, but I've heard nonstop amazing things, especially from people who read it when they're older. They said for a YA book, this is really, really good. So I'm really looking forward to it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of spicy scenes in books. I don't mind it. I'll read it and sometimes I can be like, oh my gosh, like whatever, you know, so fun, so cute. But what I really like about YA books is that there's no spice, especially with fantasy. Sometimes I just want to read a fantasy without having a million freaking scenes of them being entwined. So yeah, I'm very excited actually about adding this. Okay, so we have 5 books. I think usually we do 6. Maybe we'll do 7. I don't know. I feel like either way, I just want to add this to the TBR because I'm very looking forward to it. But we'll see. I actually was so annoyed because I wanted to read it earlier and then my copy, I ordered it from Amazon because you can't order it through like Barnes & Noble yet, or maybe you can now, but when I first ordered it you couldn't order it basically anywhere except for Amazon, and mine came with a rip on the front cover, so then I had to like send it back, get a new one. It was this whole thing. It took a while. Now it's finally in my hands. I'm very, very ready to read it. But at the same time, I think that would also be a very good fall book, so we'll see. Okay, let's spin for our 6th and possibly final prompt and see what we get. Literary fiction. Okay, I'm hoping I own one. I've been trying to get more into literary fiction. It's just hard because I never know if they're gonna be good or not. I found one that I want to read, but it's literally all the way down here behind all these stacks of books that I have nothing to do with, so this is gonna take a minute for me to unearth. We have My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I've yet to read this book, but I've been intrigued about it for a very, very long time. And I feel like this is kind of like a perfect short little book, and I've heard so many mixed reviews. I mean, look at the text on those pages. That's some pretty big text there. And even then, I don't even think it's 300 pages. So I feel like this will probably be a good literary fiction pick. And I've heard that, like, if you're a baddie, you have to read this book. But I've also heard very, very mixed things. So I don't know. I'm excited to actually finally get this off my TBR. I've wanted to read it for a very long time. So this is really the perfect opportunity about it. And it got to the point where I kind of almost forgot about it. So let me read the back for you. It says, the shocking and strangely tender story of a young woman's efforts to duck the ills of the world with the help of one of the worst psychiatrists in the annals of literature. Our narrator should be happy, shouldn't she? She's young, thin, pretty, a recent Columbia graduate, works an easy job at a hip art gallery, lives in an apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan paid for, like the rest of her needs, by her inheritance. But there's a hole in her heart, and it isn't just the loss of her parents or the way her Wall Street boyfriend treats her or her sadomasochist relationship with her best friend Riva. It's the year 2000 in a city aglitter with wealth and possibility. What could be so terribly wrong? Both tender and blackly funny, merciless and compassionate, My Year of Rest and Relaxation is a powerful answer to that question, and a showcase of the gifts of one of our major writers working at the height of her powers. I'm very intrigued. I don't know. Like, I think this was also kind of for a while categorized as like sad girl fiction. I don't know. I'm excited to add it to the list. I think we should do one more just for fun because I like to spin the wheel. And I think it's really fun picking out books, and yeah, it's like shopping but in my house. So I just like it. How many do we have so far? Yeah, we have 6. So we'll go for 7 and call it a wrap there. I really want to add another fantasy. I just want one more. So let's do something that gives me a fantasy because that's what I want to read. Continuous series! Finally, we get continuous series. That's the one that I've been waiting for this whole time. I think I want to do a whole continuing series video this month. I've been really slacking on my uploads, but I want to get more into it. It's just hard when you're reading for a specific theme and it's like, I have to read 3 whole books of this theme. Like, that's a lot, to be honest with you. But I'm trying to be more on top of it. It's just... And then on top of filming and reading, getting the videos edited and out. I'm very, very bad at that. But I know exactly what I'm going to pick, and it's actually not what you're thinking. I'm picking A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. I loved the first one of this. What was it called? An Ember in the Ashes. I thought it was really, really good and really fun and really high-paced and good energy, and the vibes were just so fun. And I don't really know if I can read the back for you, but basically... the main characters were in this military school and they were like, everything here is not what it seems. They were put through this very harsh trial. It was really good. And her brother was killed by the Empire, but then she meets the rebels and the rebels want to help her find her brother, but the only way she can do that is going into the military school and sending information back to the rebels. And then obviously lots of other things happen, but I don't want to spoil it for you. So good. I loved this series. I'm so glad we got that prompt. So I'm very, very excited to pick this one up. We have like probably my dream lineup right here. Now, obviously it's not guaranteed that I read any of these books, which is a crazy statement, but it's not guaranteed. I'm just more likely to reach for these ones throughout the month. I'm really glad we made some good choices and we got some good prompts. So just as a little refresh, we have A Torch Against the Night, we have My Year of Rest and Relaxation, we have City of Ashes, we have Daisy Hates, we have Start at the End, we have Just for the Summer, finally we have The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you for choosing out these new books with me. I really had a good time, of course, and I'm really excited for a good month of new reads and seeing what I like and letting you guys know, of course, my opinions on all of these books. Don't forget to check out my TikTok and my Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.